I just read my daily reading of The Body Keeps the Score, and it is such a hard read. So it's about post-traumatic stress disorder, which I have. And it's really triggering. It's really, really triggering because a lot of the symptoms that he discusses I experience daily. And a big part of PTSD is triggers that send you into dissociation, at least for me. So basically, dissociation or uncontrolled behavior. I struggle way less with uncontrolled behavior and more with internal conflict and dissociation. So let's say, for example, when I'm reading a book, I'll have a really hard time reading it, and I'll have to reread over and over again because what is saying is so triggering that I'll just start dissociating. I'll start reliving these moments of trauma. And when I say reliving, it's not necessarily it's not flashbacks. Ugh, I'm literally nauseous talking about this. It's not flashbacks. It's literally the body keeping the score, which I'm learning through this book and why I'm continuing to read it. Because, oh my God. I'm literally in a state of flight or fight right now. Talking to YouTube and you guys that I love so much is really helpful though. So thank you for being here for me. Yeah, it's just my body goes into literally feels like this. A state of internal, oh my God, I'm about to fucking die, duck and cover, you better fucking, you can't pay attention to anything else but your immediate need for survival. So that's what I would describe a flashback as being. And oftentimes you don't even realize it's happening. So many people are so entrenched in their PTSD or trauma or whatever, they cannot even understand that they are being triggered because it's literally part of their identity. It happens so often. Oh my gosh, this license plate is from Montana. It says become. That's really cool and representative. I'm becoming my best version of myself. And so when I started doing PTSD therapy, I was a server, and I told my therapist, I was I feel this is placebo, what the fuck, I'm psyching myself out into thinking I have these symptoms. And she's are you psyching yourself out, or are you just noticing how much you have these? And I was oh my gosh, I literally cannot function in a workspace. My managers, bless their heart, they were so nice to me and understanding, and they would be you're so fucking slow, especially with the POS system, you need to move faster. And it's because anytime someone would say something, because being a server is fucking hard, people will say fucked up shit to you, it's literally psychological warfare. So with me and my PTSD, anytime someone would say something, it would trigger me into a state of dissociation. So then I'd have to write down their order, and I'd be what? And PTSD symptoms and ADHD symptoms are really, really similar, because with ADHD you are dissociating, your train of thought is all over the place. And when you have PTSD flashbacks, I want a flower in my hair. When you have PTSD, hopefully that's not poisonous. It's not. I'm just gonna go with the fact it's not. When you have PTSD flashbacks, it manifests very similar to ADHD. And then what I've learned too is you can mask. So with any mental illness or condition, whatever, you can mask. So you can pretend whatever is going on in your body is not happening in order to continue function. pretty much, like, to function. And I'm really good at that. A lot of people are really good at that because you low-key need to function if you want to, like, be productive in any capacity. Oh my god. Hi. If you want to function in any capacity, really at all. So, yeah. I forgot what I was saying. But it's really, really difficult. And every single day, I have more compassion because I saw this girl's TikTok. She's called Well Versed or like Well Adversed on TikTok. I'll like put it in the description below because I love her. She's literally has amazing content. She talks all about like healing and mental health and resources. She's iconic. She talked about like you cannot shame yourself into change. You can only like compassion yourself into change. And radical compassion is something that I'm super into because it basically means you have understanding and compassion for the experiencer before the experience, and you are less likely to attach your sense of self to the experience because you understand that you are also experiencing what has happened rather than what has happened being a part of your identity. So that's really helpful because it's enabling me to understand my symptoms a lot more and not mask them. Because, this is what I was going to say. With masking, it really instills a sense of cognitive dissonance because you're experiencing these internal symptoms, but nobody knows, so they're never treated. And as a child, I realized as I'm healing, I would do this all the time. I would never share my emotions with anyone. I had such a hard time being vulnerable. But then people all the time would tell me how vulnerable and emotional I was. And it was this like cognitive dissonance because I never felt seen or heard or like really truly cared for. Yet I was like told that I'm so emotional and like I'm so good at articulating my feelings, which yes, was true. And that was very confusing. So then as an adult, as I was starting to heal, I had this like moment of realization where I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on in my body? Like what am I really feeling all the time? Like I actually don't know because I have been living in this state of cognitive dissonance for so long. And that's when I discovered autonomy. Okay. I discovered autonomy at the ripe age of 20, which I'm a psychology major too, fellow psychology majors. Autonomy versus doubt is like a developmental stage that you're supposed to go through, I think, as a toddler or even like a young child, like under the age of 10. So basically, as I'm re-experiencing life after, like, through the process of healing, I'm reparenting myself as if I was a toddler. And that is something I really wish that people could understand more about PTSD, because you really are developmentally stunted. And there is such a way to heal, and it is very fucking difficult when you feel like a fucking toddler, okay? So let's get that clear. And yeah, so I discovered autonomy, and then I got diagnosed with BPD, okay? Which is understandable because I was experiencing autonomy for the first time, but I was a 20-year-old. So the things that I could do with my autonomy were a lot more, what's the word? Autonomous. I could make a lot more decisions. Like a toddler, the decisions that they're able to make and the decisions that they're aware of are pretty limited. A 20-year-old, pretty vast. So as I'm healing through PTSD, a lot of my re-entering the world as an autonomous person looked like BPD, because I would change my mind a lot. I had very intense emotions about things, very vindictive in what I wanted to do and what I thought. Changing a lot about my life very quickly. So I've had a really difficult time accepting this diagnosis, and I really do not know if I agree with it, because there are some times where I can see myself manifesting as somebody with BPD and times when I'm not. So it is hard. Also the DSM, which is, it's basically like, I don't know exactly what it stands for. It's like the diagnostic something book where they like get all their medical diagnoses from for mental disorders and like conditions, is severely inaccurate. Like literally in the body, it keeps the score that I'm reading. He basically throws fucking shade at the DSM because he's like a really reputable psychologist, and when the DSM came out, he was working either in MCHC or like the VA, like some place with PTSD where he's going to be diagnosing people. And they basically were like, you should be using this very modestly, like it's not very accurate, it's very new, and like nobody followed that. Nobody fucking followed that. So I'm very, very skeptical of diagnoses, the way that they're categorized, the way that they're handed out. And also I was like soft diagnosed. I did not take a test. I saw this therapist for like 2 months. So that was also very unethical and very triggering for me. Oh, and also she told me I had fucking BPD when we were like breaking up. So I was like, thank you, queen. And I had like a fucking full-on crash out because like, basically, if you know anything about BPD, it's uncurable. People do not want to treat people with BPD because I listened to this whole podcast. It's like the worst diagnosis or not a diagnosis at all. It's just like so under-researched and like so stigmatized. So like, thank you, queen, for giving me that diagnosis, then giving me no resources or help. So of course I went on to good old TikTok, which I actually think TikTok has some pretty good resources as long as you're skeptical of them. Anyways, still don't know if I have BPD or not, but my point is PTSD can manifest in so many different ways. The DSM is shit. So don't really even care if I have BPD or not, because I got 2 opinions after that, and they're like, girl, if you have it, great. If you don't, great. Like, we're still gonna treat you the same, and you're gonna learn emotional regulation, so you're gonna be chill. Like, it doesn't really matter what you call it. Like, you're fucked up, basically, and we're gonna help you through that. And then my old therapist that diagnosed me with BPD, she was like, I don't think you're beyond help, by the way. Like, what does that even mean? That is like the most backhanded thing ever. I really have beef with her. Like, oh my gosh. But thanks for listening. This really helped me debrief how I felt after I read The Body Keeps the Score. This was very triggering, and I just appreciate you all listening. Thank you.